Hi, it's me, Dora V here, and today I will explain my baby's first tarot deck. Like, you can actually create and edit decks right here. I have two. I will be discussing Nikki Berserk because that is my first deck, and let's just get to the point. I'm going to start with the wands because that's what's come up first. So this is a back, like Love Nikki, and then... well, like, one is a card back. This is, like, the blonde with the crown is what I used as a card back. And then the little girl is the deck cover. But anyway, let's get to the wands, because that's up first. And here, I have the Ace of Wands. Whoops, what the hell? No! So, this is the Ace of Wands, and originally she was supposed to be the Queen of Wands, but then I'm like, nah, just make her the Ace. and it's supposed to be, like... it doesn't have to be a kid. Like, sometimes I think the aces should be, like, kids, but maybe not. Like, maybe not in this case. I don't think so. So I chose this one because it certainly looks like an ace. I mean, I'm definitely proud of it, and I couldn't bring myself to get rid of it, as I could not do that. So I made her the Ace of Wands, which is... the beginnings, like, well, the aces are always like a beginning of some kind, like something new, and the Ace of Wands that's like new passion. Wait, just give me a second. Yeah, I'm gonna be reading from Mystic Mondays, because I feel like it's easier that way. It's illumination, inspiration, pure potential. Basically a go for it card. And awaken your unlimited potential and step into your personal power, because the ace is usually the lead, the beginning. It's kind of a solitary number, and it's like the first, basically, like number one. And then I felt like, well, that's kind of the best I could do for baby's first deck. So there you go. See, that wasn't so hard now, was it? This is the Two of Wands. And with the Two of Wands, I picked this one. I picked the ponytails because it's two, and then she's holding a wand and an umbrella. Oh, and for the record, like, at this time, I didn't actually have, like, very many clothing options. I was, like, 9% complete or something. Right now, I'm, like, 14%. But back then it was like 9%, which is like really low. So this is really the best I could come up with, and it's advance, explore, and prospects. And you're basically making a choice. And some say that it might be a sad, like, because on one hand it's this, and on another it's that. I don't think it's a sad card. It says making the decision to leave the comfort of home is not always easy, but can be necessary for your personal growth. Take the risk and have a backup plan. That's basically what the Two of Wands is, and that's basically what she's doing here. She's looking at the world and deciding where to go. So it's either go here or go there, but these are good decisions. Like, so, but the other option, like, is, okay, should you stay or should you go? And it's basically trying to tell you to go explore. So I chose this one because it's an explorer look, and she has an umbrella in case it's too sunny or it rains, and the wand, again, it just represents the Two of Wands, and the pigtails represent two. And then the accessories, I feel like, also represent an exploration. And the Three of Wands is basically persistence, anticipation, and progression. Did I read that right? I did. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity, said Roman philosopher Seneca. So you've made progress, you're on your way to your grand vision, your visionary ways lead the pack forward, and now that I think of it, what the hell is she wearing? Well, I've got the umbrellas, because that represents the wands in the world, again, like you are progressing, basically. Following your curiosity has led you on a path to gather unique skills. This is a time when travel is encouraged, so that's why I have the globe, and she's got all these books to learn. But I feel like the outfit, oh my god, what the hell was I thinking here? I was trying to think lively. That's what I was going with. Whatever. I guess it worked for the time. Because like I said, I really didn't have very many clothing options, so whatever. Four of Wands, this is Berserk. This is, oh boy, spoiler, oh my god. So, but the Four of Wands is home, backbone, foundation, and these two finally have their home, they have their backbone, they have foundation, centered and stable. You have built a firm foundation from the ground up and are starting to see your ideas come to fruition. Building stability allows freedom, so you don't have to sweat the small stuff. So it's basically what's happening here. Like, they meet again, and now they're able to have the stable lives that they've desperately wanted for so damn long. To say more would be very bad, so I won't. But basically, they are together, and they have stability again, and that's why I chose this image for the Four of Wands. Five of Wands. A hot mess. Five of Wands is competition, diversity, rivalry. The thing about, like, the Mystic Mondays is that they do have a tendency of putting a very positive spin on things. The Five of Wands is generally not a positive card because it means, like, there's too many cooks spoiling the broth, there's too much chaos. It says, the smell of competition is high in the air. Everyone around you seems to have an opinion and no one is willing to listen. A little competition never hurt nobody, but only if people are willing to compromise down the line. If you're seen as a rival, it's only because you have too many talents to offer that cannot be ignored. So, see, again, like, differences and being seen and heard is everyone's desire, and if you want that for yourself, you must be willing to do the same for someone else. Okay, but they're putting a very positive spin on it, but the Five of Wands means, like, too many cooks are spoiling the broth, and you need to kind of get organized and get your act together. Like, yeah, like, there may be an inner conflict playing out where you're pulled by the different parts of yourself. Tune into what you really want, only you know what is best for you. Something like that, yeah. Six of Wands is victory. This was perfect. As soon as I saw this with Griffith and his triumphant return, I thought, yeah, this is perfect. Victory, validation, and acknowledgement. Yep, I think that pretty much, yeah, that's it. Yeah, I don't think it could get much better than this. And like I said, at the time, Nikki simply didn't have the outfits to really do the entire deck. So Nikki Berserk is a hell of a crossover, and I hope that one day they'll have a collab. I think that would be cool. Interesting, since Berserk is really dark. But anyway, yeah, triumphant return. Triumph, victory, killing the game with absolutely no shame. You are on fire, and there's no stopping you. Yeah, Griffith was on fire. Yeah. The Seven of Wands. This one's a more defensive card. It's attack, challenge, and stand ground. And the knives represent wands, and the scythe does too. And it's basically her standing her ground in the forest. That's why I went with this outfit. The Eight of Wands is a much happier card. And with this one, it's progress, movement, rapid action, ready, set, go! Go, 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 go! That's the Eight of Wands, and it's celebratory because this is where within structure there's freedom again. Fueled by your passion, you are moving faster than ever, picking up inspiration along the way, so this is a very good celebratory card. The Nine of Wands is basically a final push. Perseverance, last stand, last stretch. Almost there, you can see the finish line, and at the last minute you are faced with another obstacle. So it means you are just getting there, you are tired, you are exhausted, but you're still gonna stand and fight. And this is your last stand, and you're gonna give it your all. That's the Nine of Wands. So I chose the swordswoman look here, and very determined looking and tough, and she's gonna stand the last stand, and it's gonna be awesome. The Ten of Wands, this one is a later Berserk image. And this is after, like, a triumphant, it's another triumphant return, but it's a bit different, like they have succeeded against the nasty, nasty people, but now they have new responsibilities, so I chose that manga image for that reason. Duty, responsibility, obligation, so basically, you've won, you've gotten what you wanted, but now you have to, and it definitely feels like a burden, but it's still a victorious card in that you've achieved things. But now you have a new venture which comes with a new set of obligations and responsibilities, but you are doing it. You're doing it. It's generally a pretty good card, but it could also mean kind of an oppression because now it's new things. Like if it's not one thing, it's another, but you're going to keep going. So by realizing the weight of these burdens, you are prioritizing yourself. You don't have to do it alone. And they're not doing it alone here, so that's why I picked this image. Page of Wands. Oh, see, the Page of Wands is like the Princess of Wands. That's what Mystic Monday calls it. And so I went with this because it looks like a Princess of Wands, and I chose that staff. I purchased that outfit. No, not the staff that she's holding. That's a part of another outfit that I purchased, and I'm not sorry for doing it. In fact, I'm not sorry for buying anything from Love Nikki because I really do like this game, and one man made me love it. Whew. But anyway, yeah, I'll get to him soon. So, anyway, Lisa Princess, she is creative, spark, and free spirit, and I don't think it gets much better than that. See, creative spark, free spirit. The Knight of Wands is, yeah, see that. This one was actually a replacement for... Yeah, this one was actually a replacement for a previous image. See that wand she's holding? That's from Yvette. Yvette's Dreamland story. And Orlando started that all. My original husbando. He started it all because to get to a certain quest of his, he had to have Yvette's hair. And to get to Yvette's hair, you have to get past her things. And through her, I got that wand. And I met my true husbando. And we'll get to him later. But right now, the Knight of Wands is ambition, risk-taker, action-oriented. And there's the wands, and there they are, looking determined and fabulous, and just, come on, like, we're gonna do this, let's do this. This is the Queen of Wands, and this outfit, I'm pretty certain I purchased it. I either purchased it or it was a gift, but I purchased it. Come on, this is a Queen of Wands, how can it not be? Vivacious, dynamic, authenticity, feminine fire. Yeah, exactly. This is the Queen of Wands. As for the King of Wands, this is from Berserk and Grunbeld, and I chose him because he is a very fiery apostle, and the King of Wands is natural leader, visionary, entrepreneur, lights his fire, he is passionate, passion rules his kingdom. He's able to both lead and follow, and he does precisely that. He is a leader among the apostles, and he in turn follows Griffith. And he's a pretty fiery and fierce man, so Grunbeld is the King of Wands. This is the Pentacles. So for the Pentacles, the Ace is right here. The Ace of Pentacles is abundance, manifestation, prosperity, and, well, I made this one very simple and to the point. Just, this is the beginning, so she's starting out with manifestation and prosperity. And maybe that might be a little too simple, but that's all I had at the time. But yeah, that's my Ace of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles is guts. He's gotta have his mun-muns. So the Two of Pentacles is balance, prioritization, daily affairs, and that's exactly what he's doing there because he is a mercenary, and mercenaries get paid to fight. So he has his reward money, and he's counting it. Because that is what he does. The Three of Pentacles. This is Guts, Griffith, and Casca. They are working together. Teamwork, collaboration, and synergy. Teamwork makes the dream work. So collaboration with like-minded souls is a must for inspired success, and during the Golden Age, they did precisely that. The three of them together, successful. Yeah, I don't think it gets much better than that. It's just too damn bad. Things ended up the way they did. Four of Pentacles. There's Guts again, counting his mun-muns. And the thing about the Four of Pentacles is that the Mystic Mondays does say things like control, stability, conservative. Well, that's putting it mildly. Like, Mystic Mondays admires you for your self-control, that you're able to keep your spending under control. Saving is a habit you've mastered. However, it's not a completely good card because it means you're hoarding too much. And when you hoard too much, you can't enjoy the wealth you have because you're hoarding. You can't do shit. And it's not just money, but it can also be a lot of other, like, it can be items, it could be things, and sometimes when you hoard too much, those items become worthless, and that's not a good thing. So watch out for penny pitching to the point where you don't allow yourself to enjoy the fruits of your labor, and you don't grow. Like, you don't get to grow, and you don't get to expand your horizons at all, and And that's not a good thing. However, it does praise you for your discipline. And that's a good thing. What's wrong with discipline, you know? I think my new husbando would agree, don't you think? Anyway, this is the Five of Pentacles. This is one of the worst cards you can possibly get, like, ever. It's abandonment, misfortune, loss, it's hardship, it's your health, it's your relationships, it's a poverty mentality, or you are poor, or you will be facing hardship. It's basically a warning against possible hardship. And then, see, like, trials and tribulations. This is a time of loss, deficits, and hardship. It's hit you hard, and you plummet, you feel abandoned, the doors are closed, and yeah, I chose Vagrant because it's just perfect. The mask is sad, her hair's a mess, these hands are grabbing her, like she ain't got no shoes. And so take personal responsibility over your loss and look toward how you can build yourself back up again. Change your attitude about money and develop a positive mindset to attract it back to you. Adversity will only make you stronger. Well, that totally can. Yeah, but the one thing about Mystic Mondays is that the reverse of the Five of Pentacles, like it's very silver lining, but in other readings, the Five of Pentacles reversed means that you're completely fucked and you're not getting any help. Yikes! But anyway, yeah, it's not a good card to have. You don't want to see it on your spread. So yeah, who wants that on their spread? I don't. Six of Pentacles. Giving and receiving flow and prosperity. And that's what she's doing here. She's giving to Fox Lord. And she's happy. See? There you go. You'll see those bags again shortly. This is the Seven of Pentacles. Here she's planning, like she's wearing her financial elite, and she's reading, and she's planning, and she's gonna plan patience, investment, sustainability, hard work pays off, the seeds have been planted, and that's what she's doing here. The Eight of Pentacles means that she is going out and making them happen. Hustle, grit, and craftsmanship. That's what she's doing. She's going to make it happen. And the Nine of Pentacles, which is one of the best cards you can have, means true color, splendor, vitality. It also means that not only have you reaped what you've sown, you are now enjoying those fruits. You're basically enjoying what you've reaped, basically. And it doesn't have to be anything grand, like it could be something simple. So she's going shopping, like she's made some money, and so she's doing a shop. And that's what she's doing here. This particular outfit I chose, it was either a gift. I'm trying to think if it was a gift or something I purchased. I'm almost positive it was a gift, but I don't remember. The point is that I got it, and it was perfect for the Nine of Pentacles. That's all I can tell you. It's just perfect. And I kept the watermark because sometimes I'll do that to make it very clear that it came from Love Nikki. Ten of Pentacles. Oh, yeah. It don't get much better than this. Communal support, wealth, and legacy. This is Griffith and the Band of the Hawks celebrating victory. And that everything's great. Accomplishment and completion. You've reached a point of success in your journey, facing challenges and overcoming them. So yeah, it's great. The circles around you, and it's continual, and it's about a legacy, and he certainly has built a legacy here. You know, they all have together, and they're just celebrating, because how can they not? Now look, here's Guts as the Page of Pentacles. And the Mystic Mondays calls it the Princess of Pentacles, and thirst for knowledge, grounded and practical. In the case of Guts, the only knowledge that he cares about is how to kick your ass. Like that's the only knowledge he cares about. He don't care about like anything else. But he is grounded and he's practical, and he's learned to be that way at a very young age. So I chose him as the Page of Pentacles. This is the Knight of Pentacles, which is like, I don't know what the hell I was thinking here, but it was harvest, dedication, and routine. So I chose like the Earth's gift and the Earth items that I chose because I felt like that's what the Knight of Pentacles does, harvest, and I actually bought the Thanksgiving stuff. But yeah, I felt like this made sense because the Knight here is basically harvesting, and slow and steady wins the race. But now that I think of it, I don't think the skirt makes much sense, and it should have been more unisex, but it's okay. Yeah, I think it'll do. It gets the point across, you know. The Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, it looks more like the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, so this is a very young queen, fall outfit, and it's Earth Mother Nourishment and Hearth, and that's why I chose this one, because she looks very earthy, and there's nothing in this world like a mother's love. That's why I have the kitty and the little book and the fox lord there. Like, people are safe and home at her presence, trusting her generosity and spirit. She's practical and resourceful in her dealings, knowing how to make a little go a long way. And the Queen of Pentacles asks you to invest yourself to create ultimate freedom on a financial and spiritual level. Well, that's what I came up with, a very earthy look. Yeah, but I could have made her look more mature, though, but it's all good. And last but not least is the King of Pentacles. This is Griffith. I chose him because at this point, like, he has definitely achieved a lot of prosperity, and he is now king of his country. Attainment, prosperity, and abundance, large and in charge, capital in all forms. The King of Pentacles is a sign of security, financial prosperity, and worldly gains. Yeah, he certainly has gained quite a bit. Yeah, he has. Just the way he did it is kind of, but he's definitely gained it. So for that reason, I chose him as the King of Pentacles. My second Nikki deck is different. Like, I chose this character named Maurice, but you'll see that shortly or some other time, I don't know. But right now, like I said, I'm just doing the first, thing. The babies first, but he was chosen for the attainment, for his accomplishments, and those little souls, like, represent money, prosperity. He's a provider, opportunities are plenty if you're hardworking, open, and earnest. That's Falconia, with Griffith as your King of Pentacles. Oh, here we are. The swords. Oh, is the best and the worst. And if you look to your top left, and he's kind of like side-eyed now because he's jealous. That's my husbando. We'll get to him. Oh my god, we will get to him. First off is the Ace of Swords. This is Guts in Volume 8, and look at him. He looks like an ace right here. It is clarity, pure power, and breakthrough, cutting straight through the bullshit. The Ace of Swords delivers truth and clarity in realistic ways. Yeah, Guts definitely does that. That's why Griffith picked him. Because Guts is very grounded, and he's very realistic. He has a very pragmatic view of the world, and Griffith is also a pragmatist. So he looks for someone to understand him, and Guts was the one! So your potential is at an all-time high, claiming your personal power. You're able to cut through the noise and clearly see the path you want to take. Yeah, this is the Ace of Swords. And this is where the sword suites start going a little downhill up to a certain point. See, the Two of Swords. Yeah, And see, I purchased this outfit that had that blindfold, and it was perfect. Yeah, this was really perfect for the Two of Swords because it basically means that it's an impasse, stillness, indecision, and that you basically have to make a choice, but you just can't see what choices to make. You don't know much about these choices, and that a complete standstill, time passes by as you struggle to make a decision. Many choices lie before you, however, you're finding it easier to avoid the problem, shielding yourself from any possible consequences. Yeah, but by shielding yourself, you make yourself ignorant, so the choices you make might not be good choices, but you don't know that. So that's why I picked this, a swordswoman, but she's blind. And while blind fighting is a thing, that's not what this card represents. Yeah, so she's fighting blind, and like I said, this ain't D&D, so it's not necessarily a good thing here. So gather as much information as you can, because that's what you're going to need to do. Three of Swords. This is one of the most painful cards you can get. This Griffith right there with the three swords and the Field of Swords, and my god, Berserk is full of heartbreak, rejection, pain. And that's why I picked it. I really just picked it for the 3 swords, but look at Griffith, like he just has his back turned, so... But if you know anything about Berserk, like, you'll find that it's nothing but heartbreak, so the 3 of Swords, this particular image, as far as I'm concerned, is perfect. 4 of Swords, here, she looks a little too happy here, but the 4 of Swords is actually like you have to bury certain things, like, see here, it looks like a tomb, you have to bury certain things, you have to put things to rest. It's recharge, savannah, rest, like savasana, the yoga pose of deep restoration, is the ultimate act of conscious surrender. And so doing absolutely nothing is harder than it sounds, but that's exactly what the 4 of Swords is asking you to do. Yeah, it is. But that's basically it. Like, here she's kind of at rest, and she has her swords, but she's resting, and that's what you're supposed to do. 5 of Swords, also a dreadful, dreadful card to have. I chose the Field of Swords of Berserk for this, because, hey, 5 swords, and self-interest, conquest, and survival mode. It's also a lot of pain. It's a painful card to have, and it's like, what's the point of winning when you've no one to share your success with? They're actually putting it very mildly, because the 5 of Swords is just a lot of heartbreak again, and that Pyrrhic victories. It's not a card you want on your spread, and it's a very sad kind of like, you won, but the cost is so great you may as well have lost. That's the 5 of Swords. The need to be right is inflating your ego, driven by a fear of losing control. If I ever do a spread on my new husbando, it wouldn't surprise me if this appeared. But anyway, your ambition is to be admired, but also drives people away, with the fear that you will eventually throw them under the bus. Achievements are met with resentment instead of acknowledgement that you secretly desire. Ask yourself if you feel fulfilled by your wins, and at what cost. Lose the battle, win the war. So that's basically what it is. Like, just make sure your victory is not Pyrrhic and that you're not alienating people. So that's why I have that. Yeah, they're swords, so that's why. Now we're getting a little better. This is the 6 of Swords, and the 6 of Swords, like, I have her looking like she's traveling. It's transition, migration, and letting go. And that's what she's doing here. So she's in her traveling clothes, she has her travel bag and in her clothes, and she's just going. So change is not always easy, but this is a necessary transition in your life. You're braving troubled waters to catch bigger fish in the sea. It basically means, yeah, exactly, transition, migration, letting go. And I think that outfit's perfect. 7 of Swords. Deception, discreet, secrets. That's why I have her in the beautiful secret agent outfit here. And it's basically sneaky, sneaky. Be careful who you confide in, as you may not be able to trust them with your secrets. But it basically means, like, their theft has occurred, but you left some things behind. So basically, deception is at play, whether it is you being the predator or the prey. You are seeing what you can get away with and pushing past boundaries to gain advantage. Seeking shortcuts seems appealing, as you don't want to waste any time or effort on the things that don't matter in the long run. In your eyes, you're working smarter, not harder. However, be clear on what this course of action will do to your conscience. Well, I mean, if you don't have one, then it's moot, but whatever. And the possible impact that it will have on others. Yes, it's not exactly the best. I mean, it's not the best, it's not the worst. Oh, we're going to get to the worst shortly, right about now. This is the 8 of Swords. And Griffith is surrounded by a bunch of swords. And the 8 of Swords basically means that you feel very constrained, and damned if you do and damned if you don't. If you stay in the 8 of Swords, you're basically a prisoner, and nothing changes, and that's not good. But if you try to leave the swords, it can be painful, but may ultimately be the best thing to do. Limitation, confinement, restriction, completely tunnel-visioned in, you are unable to see different perspectives with multiple blind spots. Trapped in your mind, you think there is no way out and can't seem to devise an escape plan. However, take a look around and notice that the chains around your arms have been loose the entire time. This is a self-inflicted prison, and you have all the tools necessary to break out. So yeah, that's basically what the 8 of Swords is trying to say. But again, Mystic Mondays is putting a silver lining on it. And that's, yeah. Now stop it. It's putting a silver lining. But it basically means you feel trapped, but you don't have to be. So get out. Get out of this trap, even if you do cut yourself, because it's best in the long run to get out of this trap that you're in. So it's the Eight of Swords, Field of Swords with Griffith being surrounded by them, and it just makes perfect sense. Now, one of the worst cards you can get, the Nine of Swords. This is anxiety, worry, distress, a living nightmare. Your worst fears are coming true. This means a lot of anxiety and worries and hardship, and it stinks. It stinks, and I don't like it. And that's basically what it is. So that's why she has a little sad face. And her swords, of course, this is a sword suite. So yeah, obviously. And the vagrant dress is used because it represents sadness and hardship. And the mask, and she's just a hot mess. Just sad, sad, sad. And now we have, one of the worst cards you can have. And yet somehow this is the Ten of Swords. What this means is that every single thing you tried to do has ended in failure. This fail horse. However, it could also mean that you need to look at things from a new perspective. There is this element of peace to it, because see the Field of Swords, it looks really peaceful here. So what that means is that you've done everything you could, and it's failed, so the only way is to go up. And that there is a peace to that you've done everything you could. Betrayal, fatality, backstab. Yeah, that feels like failure. Times are difficult, but you can only go up from here. With the rise of the sun, the dawn is bringing a new day. So that's what it means. Like, there is an element of peace to this very sad card that, yeah, you might have given up this time, but maybe don't. Like, maybe see things from a new perspective, and the only thing you can do is move on and just do something new. Because everything else has ended in failure, so you might as well. It's a low blow, but don't play the victim. Just crawl out. Crawl out of the Ten of Swords. There's nowhere to go but up. This is the Page of Swords, Isidoro. Inquisitive, verbose, lively, and that's exactly what he is. The only thing is that he is holding a baton, or so you'd think that, yeah, he should be the Page of Wands. But no, I made him the Page of Swords because that's what he really wants to use. Sparks fly high with a twinkle in your eye. Come on, this is perfect. Like, he's just perfect, because he's such a lively little boy, so it definitely fits. This is the Knight of Swords, Guts. And the Knight of Swords is the only knight that is aggressive. Like, the other knights are very defensive, but not this guy. No, intense focus, radical, and obsessive. When there's a will, there's a way. And that is Guts. He is pure power and pure will and pure aggression. He will curb stomp your ass. Yeah, and he's a very introspective character, though, too. He's very intelligent as well. But you don't mess with him. He is a badass. So this, to me, the Knight of Swords, I don't think it gets more perfect than that. Oh, speaking of perfect, we're going to get there right shortly after the Queen of Swords. This one I chose because it just makes perfect sense. I'm trying to think how I got this outfit. I don't know if I bought it or if it was a gift. I don't know. But I know that I got it, and the Queen of Swords is clever, meticulous, and intellectual. Brains over beauty. I feel like that the North Kingdom Love Nikki is really like that. I think they're very pragmatic people. And the Queen of Swords values intellect above all else. She has no problem telling it like it is, with class and sass. She is direct, witty, honest, and even blunt. Logic rules the land. Yep, and I think that looks kind of like that. The Snow Queen. Queen of Swords. And now, you're gonna meet my husbando. This is Nidhogg, the King of Swords. Originally, I had another Nikki outfit, but, it failed rather spectacularly. It was just failure. But when he appeared, when I learned more about Nidhogg, I was like, oh my god, he is the King of Swords. There is nobody else, not Guts, not even... I mean, Griffith could come close, because I do think they're pretty similar. Like, the only difference is that Griffith was, he was more of a mercenary, and he was... What the hell else was Griffith? He's also more beautiful. Like, Griffith's just breathtaking. Nidhogg is striking, he is mesmerizing, and he became my husbando at around December 11th. I even, like, timed it, because what happened is I was going through Yvette's. Orlando inadvertently started this because they have to get past Yvette, and so, oh my god, I just went through Yvette, and I'm like, so Nidhogg kidnapped her, like, for what? And it was by car? Like, was he driving? I'm kind of hoping he was driving. You know me, I'm just into that. You know, it's like, and I'm like, Nidhogg, like, who is this guy? Because he's always been a bit of a standout. Because I liked his clothes, and my shallow ass was wondering, was he wearing boots? Or, like, yeah, it's a kink. And I decided to look up Nidhogg. I was like, December 11th afternoon, I was like, who is Nidhogg? And I searched Google, and I fell into a rabbit hole so deep, I don't think I'm ever gonna get out. At least not for a while. This guy is amazing. He is an amazing antagonist, an amazing character, and he looks absolutely amazing. Like, he might not, I mean, the thing is, like, he's not actually the best looking of the bunch in Love Nikki, but he is absolutely mesmerizing, especially in that uniform and them boots. Yeah, and let me just state for the record that I do have kinks. I really do. And he hit each and every kink that I have. Each and every one of them. The only thing that might be missing is overt passion, but I do think he's like Griffith, so there's an internal passion. That's how I see him. God, I love Nidhogg. I just absolutely love him. Because of him, Love Nikki went from like this little dress-up game that I enjoyed, and I'm ignoring the story, to a game that has eaten my soul. And I'm just full of bunnies because of like plot bunnies and graphics. Like, oh my god, I have plans. I don't know, I can't guarantee anything, but this guy just rocks. And he's not the only character like this. Like, I do have some characters that I really like in the same way, but he is top tier, a top tier favorite, and one of those favorites that will last for years to come. And look at this guy. This is my husbando. He's perfect. Now I will explain to you why he is the one and only King of Swords. Clarity, mental strength, cerebral. Power lies in the mind. Intellectual strength gives the King of Swords his edge, ruling with dignity and authority. His judgment is sound, based on objectivity to find the honest truth. He detaches himself from emotions and believes in solving problems using his intellect and fair objectivity. Diving under structure and rules, the King of Swords is able to sort through systems and look back at history in order to find his answers. He asks you to accumulate your wealth of knowledge and detach yourself from your emotions. Research before making important decisions, carefully weighing all options with scrutiny. Experience has led the King of Swords to embrace rules and to lead with a conscious compass. In his kingdom, structure allows freedom to flourish. That's him. Yep, Nidhogg. No one else in Love Nikki can replace him as the King of Swords. Like, no one. Yeah, and he's just mesmerizing. Like, he just is. Like, absolutely is. Whew, anyway, finally, okay, the cups. Moving on to the cups. This one's a happier, deck than the swords, you know, so we've gotten through the trauma of the swords, and I got to meet my baby, like my new husbando, and just, anyway, so let's get to the cups, moving right along. Maybe I should have saved the swords for last, but whatever, anyway. This is the Ace of Cups. Creativity, emotional expression, free flow. Look at her, she's flowing. So you see the little cup there, that was a gift. I could have sworn that it was. And look at the bunny. And so yeah, I had thinking Yvette there for the Ace of Cups. I guess basically spread the love, and that it's basically it's just new things, new relationships. The water in the Ace of Cups is allowing you to flow with love and creativity. Oh, that's why I picked her. Two of Cups. This one is a little more recent. I purchased this one because I thought, wow, that's perfect for cups, and so I did. Yeah, like this is like partnership, complementary, duality, and she has a partnership with that animal over there. Yeah, That's pretty much it with this one, yeah. And there was another image before this one, but this one's better, and I'm glad I got it. Definitely no regrets. Three of Cups. This one is a very new one. Originally, it was... Oh wait, the original Two of Cups was Guts and Griffith. Like, they were, like basically on the battlefield, and they were, like, just, like, they had their arms around each other, kind of walking each other off the battlefield, but... Nah, this one is better. Like, I thought I had a Nikki outfit, but I didn't. But it was basically Guts and Griffith. But I realized that nah, this is better. But the Three of Cups was originally, it was the Hawks, like members of the Hawks, like having drinks. But this Alice one proved to be a better option because she has 3 cups right there. She's holding it. Celebration, squad goals, community, every day's a party, your social life is roaring. So, there you go. There's your 3 of Cups. 4 of Cups. This one's not a good one. And then this one, yeah, distracted, withdrawal, rumination. That's actually my card of the day today, so whatever. Although you are content in your life, you are feeling bored and restless. The rat race is wearing you down, and the status quo no longer appeals to you. So she's had enough. She's tired. She's going to take her cups, and she's going to go home and think about things, basically. So yeah, that's why she looks the way she does. And then there's the 5 of Cups. Aww, sad trombone. This one's basically no use crying over spilled milk, that you're so intent on the past, that you lose sight of yourself and you lose sight of what you have in front of you. Is disappointment, setback, perspective. Is the glass half full or half empty? Disappointing setbacks have got you in a rut. This downfall is regressing you back to painful memories or expectations fell short. Bitter and broken, you are filled with resentment over what happened to you, taking the loss personally. It's okay to give yourself a moment to feel bad, but it is your decision how long you wallow in it. Forgive the people who have hurt you in the past, including yourself, for believing that they have the power to hurt you. Instead of thinking how much this sucks, reflect back on the lessons you learned. It may take some time for the sting to go away, so let yourself heal through this process. You'll come out of it a much wiser human than when you started. Yeah, so it's basically saying put things in perspective. It's okay to have past memories. It's okay to learn from the past. It's okay to hold on to some aspects of it, but don't do it too much. Don't lose sight of the future. Don't lose sight of the present. That's basically what the 5 of Cups represents. You see, she's sad, but there's no use crying over spilled milk. You have to clean it up. Move on. It's the 6 of Cups. I chose this because it represents a great deal of community and companionship, familiarity, innocence, nostalgia. In fact, this picture is a nostalgic picture of the Band of the Hawk, so I thought it was perfect. It's the 7 of Cups, where Griffith is talking about his dreams. Every man within his lifetime should at least hope for a life he can sacrifice to the god of dreams. Griffith is real big on dreams. So illusion, prizes, and temptation. Be careful what you wish for. It's basically, that's why I picked it. And while I admire Griffith for wanting change, I do kind of wonder, like, what he's going to do with that power. This is where he's very similar to Nidhogg. Like, they do have a vision, but it's not really certain what do they really want. You know, like, if you had that kind of power, what would you do with it? But anyway, temptation, be clear on what your long-term visions are, so whichever cup you choose brings you closer to your goals. Temptation, but it basically means try not to dream too much, okay? Because it's not always a good thing. This is the 8 of Cups. Well, the footprints represent cups, and what the 8 of Cups basically means is introspection, deeper purpose, and brooding. But you're also kind of learning what to keep and what to walk away from. And in this particular manga edit, Guts chooses to walk away. So, and it's not that he was dissatisfied. All he wanted to do was have a dream of his own. So he felt like he had to walk away because being in the Band of the Hawk no longer worked for him. You know, and that's pretty sad. Sad trombone. So that's a very ambivalent kind of card. That's a very sad. So, like, there's a buzz in your ear to give it all up and chase your joy, even if it doesn't make sense yet. Yep, something like that. 9 of Cups. Wish come true, fulfillment, pleasures. Yeah, there it is. However, 9 is kind of a solitary number. That's why I chose this manga edit. Like, there is a celebration, but Guts is outside looking in. But he's still very happy. Like, your wish is my command. This is the wish card. Wish come true, fulfillment, pleasures. So Guts is experiencing pleasure on his own, and everybody else is experiencing their own pleasure. Yay. And then this is one of the best cards you can get, the Ten of Cups. This is the Ten of Cups. They don't get much better than this. Wholeness, connection, and full circle. Yeah, perfect. This is the Page of Cups. And Princess of Cups. Look how cute she looks. Flow, synchronicity, mystic messages. The Princess of Cups brings you inspiration to create, to trust your insight, and to listen to your intuition. She asks you to be open-minded about new experiences, emotions, and how messages can take form. See, that's what she represents. See? A little fishy bag. This is the Knight of Cups, Griffith, which, I mean, I really couldn't think of anyone else. I mean, romantic, emotional elation, adoration, and Griffith is romantic, like he truly is. He's romantic, and he has a cup of tea here. I mean, I just couldn't think of a better image. Like, charmer, seducer, lover. The Knight of Cups is very in tune with his intuition and not afraid of deep conversation. Well, as long as your name is Guts, he's not afraid of it. His emotions play a part in his life and rule his decision-making. In the case of Griffith, it's actually internal. Externally, he's very cold and kind of a King of Swords kind. But internally, yeah, he is kind of like this, and he's actually pretty intense. And it's exactly how I see Nidhogg, by the way. But yeah, I felt like Griffith kind of has that kind of emotional side, but he keeps it very stoic, though. Now, see, this part, like, it doesn't really fit Griffith, but the Knight of Cups, he wears his heart on his sleeve and openly expresses his adoration for you. Aw. Should probably consider a different picture, but like I said at the time, I couldn't think of anybody. I didn't have the Nikki outfit. I wasn't that familiar with Orlando. Nidhogg doesn't fit, so this is the best I could come up with. So, okay, anyway. This is the Queen of Cups. See, very beachy, all the water here. Intuition, compassion, and open heart. See, look how she looks here. Intuition, comparable to the High Priestess. The Queen of Cups rules your intuition, compassion, and love. She is an emotionally stable woman who rules fairly from the heart. Empathic with healthy boundaries, the Queen of Hearts asks you to show compassion and love to others' emotional well-being. That's Nikki right there, isn't it? And now we have the King of Cups. Griffith again as the King of Cups. Like I said, I didn't have a Nikki outfit for this, and I just thought Griffith was the best choice. Equilibrium, mindfulness, and humanity. So I think equilibrium definitely works with Griffith for the most part. The problem is Guts, which kind of tipped that cup. But anyway, mindfulness is key to making an impact. The King of Cups is able to carry emotions with intention, aptitude, and wit, clearly scoring high on the emotional intelligence test. Which I think with Griffith for the most part is true. That's why I selected this picture. He is elegant, he looks very stately here, and he's holding a cup, so that's why I picked it, King of Cups. Now, we moved on to the Major Arcana. We first start out with the Fool. And I chose this because it's supposed to be an adventurer. It's a steampunk look, and she's going to travel. She is the Fool. Inventive, that's the Magician. Whoops, wrong one. But the Fool is a free spirit, purity, and beginnings. How exciting! The Fool is a card of pure, spontaneous energy, filled with curiosity and enthusiasm for the next adventure. You're ready to step forward on a new journey, and that's what she's doing here, the adventure. And I'm almost positive this was a gift as well, but I got it, and I thought it was perfect for the Fool. Yeah, so then I picked the red-haired Azura because I felt like it made the most sense. But yeah, she's ready to go. Next up is the Magician. See here? She's pulling a rabbit out of her hat. She's on a stage that looks like the magician would be on stage. Has books for knowledge, and The magician is inventive, manifestation, and true potential. You got the spark, and she's got the spark right there. That's why I picked it. This outfit, I picked... Because, come on, tell me that's not a magician. Come on, really? This is the High Priestess. And here, that looks like a priestess. Like, how can it not? She's got that smile that she knows things. She offers a lot of knowledge, intuition, serenity, divine goddess. A mistress of the subconscious, the High Priestess asks you to listen to your inner voice. She combines serenity, inner knowing, and collective wisdom to guide you towards your intuition. So she is like a master negotiator. She has all this knowledge, and she knows way more than you think, and she's always willing to help you, unless she's a bitch. But whatever the case, there's still a lot of knowledge. Looking inward rather than outward can provide you with the guidance that you seek. So yeah, and that's what she offers you. Empress. This was perfect. In fact, this particular outfit is the reason why I actually started doing this. When I realized you could make your own tarot deck, perfect. Yeah, this was the reason why. This is a Thanksgiving outfit. I bought both of them, and I love them, and this one's just perfect. She's the Empress, Goddess, Femininity, Mother Earth. Yep. Yeah, she's the one, for sure. Ruled by Venus, the Empress is a card of love, creativity, and fertility. Yeah, this is one of my best cards. One of the best looks she has. Just great. Yeah, there's your Empress, Nikki. This is the Emperor. His name is, the one thing that I don't like when you have, like, companion picks is right now there can only be one, so apparently it's the Highlander. His name escapes me right now, but he's actually like a pilot, which I think is pretty cool. But anyway, like, he's good looking, but I don't really care about him either way. But he really looks like an emperor, and I think he is. He has authority, ambition, and power. Yep, and since he already is one in the game, I thought, yeah, he's a good choice. So why not? If I could just get, is it like I wish I could remember his name. Feels bad, man. But, yeah, that's Emperor right there. I wish I used a different background, though. That would have made more sense. Anyway, he is also the Hierophant. So, yeah, I took off his outer robe, and he's wearing this inner robe and has some scrolls because he's the Hierophant, which is all about conventional, institution, and traditions. Stay woke. The Hierophant calls on you to honor the traditions in your life. Whether large or small, honoring rituals can help you feel grounded. And he basically also represents external control. Where there's chaos, he is there to bring order. And I think this character definitely can do that, which is why I picked him. The Lovers. Okay, originally I had a different picture, but when I saw this, I'm like, it is mine. I want this. And so I got it. Yeah, it was mine for sure, and I'm happy to have it. It's love, alignment, and choices. Love is in the air. See the heart? That's love. And that's why I picked it over the original one. I have the original one in the second deck. And this one, it's perfect. Like, look at it. A heart. You see, 2 hearts, passion, desire, and mutual attraction. The only thing about the Lovers is that it also means you have to make a decision. So that's kind of the only caveat with the Lovers, but come on, tell me this ain't perfect. Next is the Chariot. Now, the thing about the Chariot is I don't like how Mystic Mondays represents it, because the actual card, like I've said it before, like, it looks like she's flying in the air with her hands in the air, and come on, like, that's not being in control. But the Chariot is actually a very defensive card. It's you are behind the wheel, or on horseback in this case, but you're very careful and planned, so when you're driving somewhere, when you're being driven, it's a very planned way and deliberate and defensive. And you're also presiding over it. It's not just that you're driving. It's not even so much that, but rather you're kind of driving things from behind and making sure things are in order and planned out and working in synergy. That's basically what the Chariot is, but it definitely means that you're driven. Victory, willpower, and inner drive. It's like, vroom, you got your hands on the steering wheel and you're ready to go. Except that's not actually what the Chariot is supposed to be. Yeah, that's not quite. Yeah, not quite. Because, as you see, again, with, it's a little too celebratory, according to Mystic Mondays. Yeah, you're not actually supposed to go vroom, like you're actually supposed to drive carefully. You're driven, but you're not the Knight of Wands, so yeah, you need to plan it carefully. But it basically, like, focus, inner drive, willpower, that you're gonna get her done. Remember to run your own race and ignore the haters. We all have different talents to offer, and if you keep focused on yours, you will win the race with style and finesse. Keep your eye on the prize. That's basically what it's supposed to be, like finesse. Like finesse. You're not supposed to be going vroom. You're not supposed to be holding your hands in the air and flying in the air. That's not in control. That's out of control. So don't go there. But yeah, basically, it's a good card to have, though. But it basically means if you're going to be driven, you need to plan accordingly and make sure that everything is properly in line. So Griffith here is perfect. Like, it's perfect. Like, he's riding, he's in control, but he's not kicking the horse, he's not going too fast, he is presiding over things, and he is driven, and nothing's stopping him. This is strength. Guts is strength. Yeah, strength. It's this fierce endurance and courage. Strength is not only a card of physical strength, but often points to your inner strength. Yeah, it don't get much better than that. It just doesn't. This is the Hermit. And this one is a solitary card of introspection, like she's in her room, and she has a little lantern there and a kitty. But soul-searching, reflection, and truth. That's basically what it is. And it is a solitary card, so you're doing this alone. Soul-searching is the name of the game, and you've decided to take the time to explore that aspect of yourself. So yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, like, I did like the dress here. I have the little tarot things there. But yeah, she's the Hermit. This is the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, I know it's kind of weird because she's also, like, part of the Three of Cups. But this one is actually more recent. The original one, like, she was in the Chinese fields and has, like, a poofy thing behind her that looked like a wheel. But I changed it to this because I think the clocks are more appropriate and the cards represent tarot and that they're all whirling around like a wheel. So Wheel of Fortune, I picked this one. I wonder if I should have, like, gotten rid of the cups, but whatever. That looks like a wheel too. Anyway, the Wheel of Fortune is change, fate, and karma. So yeah, it pretty much looks like it. But I wonder if I could have done something with the hat too. But she looks like a giant wheel. That's the whole point of it. Justice. I basically try to make her look like a lawyer here, like very simple and elegant, and she has a book. The thing about Justice is that it just rarely appears on a spread. Like, I've only ever seen it once, but here she is, Miss Justice. Law, objective, and fair. The law is on your side, and she's making sure of that. This is the Hanged Man. Don't need to say much here. It's just simple and sporty is what I went with. It basically means sacrifice, patience, and suspension. Suspended in time and all is up in the air. This is a stage where you feel stuck between the momentum of the future and the speculation of the past. Delays and indecision are to be expected, and it is in your best interest to prolong any decision making. So it basically means hang in there. And take your time. Give yourself permission to receive. Delay gratification and put in the time and effort so that you can see your big vision come to life. So it does involve some kind of sacrifice and basically just kind of stay still. This is Death. Yeah, Stygian one. Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't imagine anything else being Death here. It's change, ending, and rebirth. It basically means things are going to be changing, change is coming. Clear the clutter and let go of what is not serving you in order to make room for new life. When one door opens, another closes, and vice versa. There is no life without death. Yep. It's basically like, yeah, sometimes things have to die. Aw, so that new life can begin. This is Temperance. Hi, Judo. How do you do? Judo is Temperance. balance, patience, synergy. And I think that that's how judo is. Like, he is smart as Griffith, and he does figure things out pretty easily, but he's very balanced, and he's just this. Like, he's good he's good at internal control, and in doing so inspires others to be the same way. You are taking the high road because you've realized that you cannot control external circumstances. However, you can control how you react to them, and that's pretty much how judo is. Very balanced, very patient, and very self-controlled and self-contained. He rarely loses his cool, and he has internal control. And that's how he's able to influence others. So that's why I picked judo as temperance. This is the devil. Yeah, addiction, enslavement, and fears. That's the devil. So you got the devil bats, the snake where you're in bondage, and she's gonna mess with you. And I made her kind of sexy. I tried to make her real sexy. Look at them boots. Those boots are made for walking, but no boots are like Nidhogg's boots. Like, never. But anyway, that's the devil. And she's gonna get you if you're not careful. You gotta, like, not be in bondage. And this is probably one of the worst cards you could ever have, the Tower. And with this one, like, it's hard to kind of present the Tower in Love Nikki, but it's destruction, abrupt change, and lightning, flash. It could also be celebratory, and it could also mean sex, like you're having some great sex, but it's usually a pretty bad card. And the clothing I chose here is she's supposed to look like a hot mess, because that's what the Tower is. A hot mess! Oh, what the hell? Yeah, speaking of hot mess, oh my god. Oh boy. Well, anyway, this is a hot mess, and the Tower is a hot mess, like abrupt change, lightning, but what it also means is that the foundations are crumbling due to a bad foundation or a false foundation, and that false beliefs, it's a rude awakening for you to transform your attitudes about previous beliefs, salvage what you can from the wreckage, and make a game plan to move forward. Yeah, it's catastrophe, and you gotta pick up the pieces. That's the Tower, and this is the best I could do, honestly, sorry. But Nidhogg does believe that Mira is living in a false peace, so he's shaking things up too. And maybe he could be a Tower in his own right, but he ain't no hot mess, he's just hot. Anyway, next up is the Star. One of the best cards you can have, ever. The Star. I did have a different picture from the arena battles, but I went with this one, and it's very similar to the one I have in arena. It's the Star, healing, inspiration, and serenity. The universe has your back. This is a perfect card for healing, inspiration, and serenity. And the stars are also used for navigation, and it's meant to help you. This is the Star. Like, let your freak flag fly. And that's why I have the outfit that I do. Just looks like a star, don't it? And so, this is the Moon. And the Moon is one of the more feared cards. That's why I have her the way she does. Like, she's the human embodiment of the Moon, and the Moon is right next to her. Surreal, subconscious, and shadow self. A false light, basically. Illusions, and that sometimes you're so intent on looking at one thing that you don't see the scorpions. So it's a very ambivalent kind of card, too. So just, this is the Sun. This is one of the best cards you can possibly have. And see, doesn't she look like the sun? See, that's why I chose the colors that I did. Like, it's very sunny. And this one I got, it was a 99-cent gift pack, and I got it. And I love it. It's perfect. It's the Sun. It's positive vibes, warmth, and radiance. See? Perfect. And then the last two cards, again, are the best ones you can have. This one's Judgment. And she looks a little severe here, but that is the whole point of Judgment. But it's actually a very good card in that it is absolution, evaluation, and reflection. Prioritize reflection and self-evaluation as you need time to regenerate. You've reached a checkpoint where you are ready to assess your life and release old wounds. Quiet contemplation can lead to an awakening that you are ready to change aspects of your life for the better. That's judgment. Yeah, like you'll make your decisions based on a perfect blend of intuition and intellect, enhanced by your library, see the books there, of lessons learned from past experiences. Yeah, that's the gist of it. Judgment. Yeah, that dress, like the Dance of Venus. Yeah, I actually got that from the Dawn War. I chose Orlando and Kimmy because I was familiar with them. The dark side, I swear I didn't know any of them. It's like, who the hell? I saw a certain someone in a hat, and I thought, is that Nidhogg? Like, what's he doing there? Like, I didn't know until I fell in that rabbit hole. But I still would have chosen Orlando and Kimmy just because at the time I was familiar with them. I was more comfortable and familiar with them. And Orlando at the time was my husbando, but that's changed. And if I knew then what I knew now, I probably would have gone with Nidhogg. Probably. Well, I mean, they did win, but still, I mean, But I got the Dance of Venus from the Dawn, so I have no regrets siding with Kimmy on Orlando. It's just that it's a Two of Swords thing. Like, I was making a choice with minimal knowledge, and I simply went with the people I was the most familiar with and nothing more. But it's all good, though. I got that dress, and I finally met Nidhogg, so no regrets here, and it's a renewal. Trust your judgment. You see, boys and girls? So it's basically a renewal. So there. And this is the world. This is the final one in the Arcana. Isn't she the world? The wasteland is the world. Completion, achievement, and unity. And that's why I have the globe there, because the world, and she's happy, and everything has come full circle. Finito, a long-term goal has been reached, and you can now sit back and relax. Yeah, something I could be doing now. The world could also literally mean that you will be traveling, and she certainly does do that. See, she travels, and it's a huge win. It's a celebratory card. It's one of the best cards you can ever have on a spread. And it's wonderful. And this deck is wonderful, and I have the second one, but I'll get to that later. For now, I'm stopping. Jesus, it was long. So, hope you enjoyed this. I certainly enjoy my husbando, Nidhogg. So, whatever faults he has, he is a magnificent character. I am aware of the things that he has done. Like, I know, but I still love you. Still love you, man. See you later. Goodbye.